radio show.
I got to ask you, at what point in your life did you realize that being a performer, whether it be singing, playing an instrument, just being up there entertaining a crowd, when did you realize that that's what you wanted to do as far as a career?
Ooh, that interests me just because I realized fairly recently only, because I went to college at Berkeley for psychology because I wanted to be a psychologist. And but yeah, something happened in college my senior year, and I started writing songs just for myself. And I'd always played instruments and stuff growing up because my mom just had me and my brothers all learn 3 instruments each. We could pick which ones they were. And but once I started writing, then I was like, I love doing this. So I didn't think of myself as a singer or songwriter then. But yeah, then the voice happened, and I was like, guess I'm a singer too. And then I also just really like singing the songs that I write, and so I wanted to be able to sing the songs that I'm writing. And so then I think the main part was the writing for me.
So did the instruments spark the singing, or did the singing spark the instruments?
No, I always loved singing, just in chorus class and such, but I just never thought of myself as a singer in the sense that, the way Christina Aguilera is a singer and Fiona Apple, and it was more, I started singing kind of as a way to convey my songs that I'd written.
Do you remember the first time you performed an actual gig, and what was that experience like? I mean, were you nervous, and how did that turn out?
I do remember. It was in San Francisco, which is, in retrospect, an amazing city. I think for anyone who's just kind of coming upon their art for the first time, because it's a pretty open city and people are receptive. It was at this place called Rocket Room, and I'm still friends with the guy who booked me there. And I played. He said, "Come down and play for 45 minutes." And I brought my keyboard and I brought my drummer. I found a drummer on Craigslist.
On Craigslist.
And, yeah. And I just invited all my friends to come. And I just played all the songs that I had been writing. And they were so supportive, my friends. And so I was like, okay, well, that one went well. And so they were like, do you want to come back and do a full band show here? And so I just kept doing that. And then other venues in San Francisco, I started to do that.
Sonia, this is Randy. I'm the co-host, and it's a pleasure to get to talk to you.
Hi.
I got a question for you. I've seen some of your performances, and man, you sing with so much passion. Where do you draw the passion from that you project when you're singing?
I don't know. I think when I'm singing, there's a certain passion that comes from singing your own words that you've written. I write very autobiographically, and that's actually, I don't think that's true for all writers. I think I can write songs that are not autobiographical. I can just write about a story that's not true of my life, but I tend to write autobiographically, and so I think when it's about my own life, I'm going to be singing pretty passionately.
Well, when you sit and listen to you sing, and I love music, and obviously you do too, but you sit and listen to somebody sing, and you just captivate. I want to hear what you're talking about, or singing about, I should say, and you just want to listen. I heard you do a cover of The Freshman, and
yeah,
man, that just blew me away, the way that was arranged and the way you guys just kind of put it out there.
Thank you.
Is it hard for you to decide what you're going to cover like that when you do decide to do covers?
No, I actually keep a little, there's like the note app on your iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep a running list of, as I am going about my day, if I hear songs that I just think would be really interesting or different to cover, or if I really love the lyrics in a song. That's usually why I end up covering a song, because I like the lyrics. Mm-hmm. Then I'll just I'll add it to my list of covers that I'd like to do one day. Well, but yeah, that song I listen to all the time. I loved it. So.
Well, you did it justice. It's hard for me to get a beat on you as far as you don't sound like anybody else. You have your own unique sound. Who inspires you? I mean, who do you draw upon? Do you have any influences on your sound?
Well, it's kind of evolved over time. So when I was growing up, my first music was the stuff that my dad would play. So he listened to lots of Bruce Springsteen, lots of Billy Joel, Eric Clapton, and then he also would listen to Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, and Celine Dion. So we had those two ends of the spectrum going in our house. And then I have two older brothers, and so they really influenced what I was listening to just because they control the radio, I guess, because they're older than me. And so, I ended up listening to a lot of Green Day, Sublime, Weezer, and then I, on my own, ended up, of course, listening to Christina Aguilera and some pop singers in high school. And then more recently, my influences have been like Coldplay, Bon Iver, Regina Spektor, Ingrid Michaelson, definitely.
So all different types of genres.
Awesome.
Yeah, all different types of genres you draw.
Yeah, because at the end, it's not like just because you write in a certain genre, you only want to listen to that genre. I think you pull from any music that resonates with you, whatever genre it is.
So how has being a contestant on The Voice changed your career?
I think the main thing is that because of it, I met my publishers who, because of that, I've ended up, they put every song on my first album on TV shows. And so that's been a trip. That's really cool. And then that's the most, I guess, tangible thing, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then just more for me, what I love is I met, you spend a lot of time in that hotel with the other artists, and so that was amazing. Just 24 hours a day, you're with these other people who really you can relate to, because they're all artists and writers and singers. So,
we've had Beverly McClellan also on the show.
Yeah.
And I forgot to ask her, because I personally have, I've always been interested in this. What's the selection process like on The Voice? It's not like Idol, is it?
No, I think The Voice is a little different because they choose people. I think all of us were already pursuing music before we were on the show. That's one big difference. So, everyone has been an artist, a lot like Javier. So many of the artists actually a lot of them have released their records already through labels and such. But the selection process was.
Is it is there an audition process, or you send in?
Yeah, no, definitely. Some of us were recruited, so I was recruited, and then I think they also do open casting or something. I don't know how people found out about it, but that was my method, or that's how I ended up on it.
Let's skip forward. You've had a handful of songs featured on some pretty hot shows. For instance, Jersey Shore, Snooki and JWoww, just to name a couple. How does it feel to have your music featured on such popular TV shows? And what I would really like to know is, how did you get the news as far as learning your songs made the cut for those shows?
It's cool. It's a weird feeling because, number one, I'm from Jersey Shore, but and secondly, my parents definitely do not watch that show ever, but they watched that time because they wanted to see my song play.
Mm-hmm.
So they were just like so scarred. But no, it's really
They didn't
cool.
know what the show was about.
No, they didn't. They knew that it's supposed to be like probably not something they'd be into, but they still, that's love right there. They still watched it. But my dad was just like, why? Why is that there? No, it's really cool, and I'm just happy that MTV got behind this album and just like thinks it's good for these TV shows. It's great.
Now you collaborate with a lot of other musicians.
I do.
Yeah, on arrangements and stuff like that. Is that something that you really enjoy doing as much as performing solo?
I love it, yeah. So this month I'm doing a residency in Venice. So it means like every Thursday in March I play at this one place. And each week I've been bringing different duet to come, or artists to sing a duet with me. And like next week, Vicky Martinez, who's also on The Voice, she's going to come to do the duet with me and Lelia Broussard. And it's just it's so fun to sing with people that you admire. And yeah, I think it adds, and the audience loves that they get to see more than one artist interact and perform. So it's just fun for everybody.
Yeah, Vicky really brings in a lot of passion. We were talking about passion.
Oh, yes.
When she
awesome.
sings, she really, she brings in that like I call the warrior stomp.
Yeah.
She really gets into it. That's her thing. That was like her gimmick on the show, I think. Other than her, her fantastic voice, she really got into the music, and I think she really got the crowd into her music as well.
Yeah, I think people just really want to see someone be in their song, like really feel. Because I think when you're performing, at least for me, when I'm watching someone perform, I want to feel something through them. And so in order for that to happen, the performer has to or the singer has to be really in what they're doing and feel it.
I ask this question a lot to my guests on the show, and I try to rephrase it as to not sound stale for the listeners. But, when you're lying in bed at night and all you have is your thoughts, before you fall asleep, do you ever just think, wow, I've already accomplished so much in my life in relatively short amount of time, because you are a young lady. Do you ever wonder, what does the future hold for me? The sky's the limit for you, Sonia, and I think you're right on the mark for achieving all you have dreamed.
Thank you. I think a lot of musicians will relate to this. I don't I'm less thinking about as soon as I've accomplished something that I've set out to do, I think it's a flaw of mine. Rather than appreciating it, I'm on to the next thing. And I just, I think just like a lot of people, I just take on too much. And then, but I do, like last night, for example, I did actually just lay in bed when I was going to sleep after my show. And I just felt so grateful. Like I just felt so much gratitude because I was so happy that I'm doing what I'm doing, and not everybody gets to perform and sing and write for their days, for their lives. So yeah, I do. Some days I do stop and think about it, and I love it. But yeah, no, I definitely think I have the type A in me.
Well, Sonia, where can people find you on the web as far as social media websites?
I'm on all of those internet-y type things. It all links from my website, which is soniarao.com, SONIARAO. But yeah, I'm on like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and then my album's on Spotify and iTunes and Pandora. And it all links to my website, though, to make it easy.
Any announcements for show dates? Any appearances here in the near future?
Yeah, there's one last night of the residency this Thursday in Venice, in LA. That's again with Vicky Martinez, Elliot Yamin, and Lelia Broussard. And then in April, we're going to go up to San Francisco, San Diego, Santa Barbara. July, I'm going to do the Midwest, so I think Wisconsin, Minnesota. Yeah, and then May is New York. But I put all of that on the website again. So
well, everybody make sure you
my schedule with you.
everybody make sure you check out Sonia's website and you get all that information. Sonia, I really appreciate you stopping by and taking a little bit of time out of your day to join us today on the show.
Thank you so much.
The 25th Hour Radio Show.